When people are released from jail, they have the responsibility to appear in court. But some of these people choose to go on the run.
They go back home to mommy.
And that is when these guys come into the picture. So sit back and listen to the Off the Hook podcast with Chad and Rob.
Very fine people on both sides.
These are real stories, but the names have been changed.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Rob,
and I am Chad.
How do you guys like the new intro there on YouTube? We're not getting up and changing the camera out. That's awesome.
We're advancing.
We're trying. We're learning.
Yeah.
All right.
Little by little.
So, Chad, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was all right. It was good. We had enough rain. You can stop now. We don't have a drought any longer.
You ain't lying. My grass is gotten green. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. Well, I ain't done nothing but move. So
yeah. We got the convention we just got back from.
Yeah. The convention in Pensacola Beach, Florida.
That was cool. That was a good time. I think that we were surprisingly everybody was interested in what we were doing. Bankers and Palmetto were interested in sponsoring us. Woohoo!
Yeah, we're starting to get our first sponsor.
Yeah, we gotta figure that part out.
Yeah, so it's been going good though. I'm quite impressed, Chad. This is a very good idea. That I must say, this was Chad's idea. But while we're in Florida, we had a good time. It was beautiful, beautiful weather.
Stinking hot. Yes, it was.
The dinner was pretty cool.
Yeah, outside by the ocean while the band played, and you just sat there and sweated and prayed for the wind to blow.
Yeah, I got up and played with the band for a few songs, and it was hot there too. Even the guy in the band was like had to take a break because he was getting too hot.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was nice. Michelle did a really good job.
She did.
And everybody else, all the board members. That I got to give credit to all of them because it was really good. And
we're looking forward to Montana. That's our next location.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
To. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. But yeah, we got a year to figure that out. So.
But get this. So while we're out there, Chad, he's sticking to his ways of eating. I'm not going to even call it a diet.
Yeah, that is correct terminology. It's not a diet; it's a way of eating. I've been carnivore for since sometime in January. So yeah, I've dropped 40 pounds doing this. And
how do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, a lot of my ailments, I am no spring chicken anymore, and ailments come along with aging, and I feel really good and surprisingly strong. Still in the gym for no carbohydrates. I totally recommend people check it out. Give it 30 days. Try it. And
Chad, you don't look no older than 40.
I know, right? Because I'm not 40.
Me neither.
But hey, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to do the best you can with what you got.
So other than that, man, I'm hoping it stays dry on us, and Chad keeps going on this carnivore diet and carnivore lifestyle.
Right.
And so let's get into story time.
Story time.
Chad loves this.
Oh.
I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can NBC.
Boom! There you go.
All right.
So
you got the long version.
It's story time. You got. Hey, before we get started on story time, I won something at the convention.
Yes.
And I gave it to Chad.
So all that the previous episodes, just so you know, that I made fun of all the people with the stinking ducks in their Jeeps. Stop doing that, people. It looks really dumb. Anyway, so this was in his basket.
That I won.
It
Fair and
was
square.
what was it featured? It was a Donald J. Trump basket, and this little Donald Duck was in there.
I gave it to him. I said,
So
Chad,
guess
here,
what I
said, Chad,
got?
here you go.
So I'm part of the club now, Jeep people. I'm not putting this in my truck. My truck will run over your Jeep. Anyway,
hey, little bobblehead.
yeah, it was filled full of DJT
Yeah,
stuff.
it was pretty cool, man. So anyway, let's get back to our story here. Deviant Daryl, the domestic woman
beater.
Yeah.
So Deviant Daryl was a guy out of Texas that we got a call from our friend Leland Chapman.
What's up, Leland?
Leland. And he called us. This has been a few years ago. Called us and said that there was a guy looking for this Daryl guy, and they had found out, they thought that he was up in Greenville, North Carolina.
Which is only about an hour, 45 minutes from us.
Yeah, or it's 2 hours, something like that. And so he asked us to, go up there and see what we could do. So, yeah, we went up there one day and.
Well, first, Leland. All right, so Leland calls me and tells us about this story about Deviant Daryl.
Yeah.
And how it became to him finding out that he was in Greenville.
Yeah. So the information that they got was from a guy that was in prison. This guy said, look, when he went to interview him, he said, look, I ain't no snitch. He said, but I'm here doing life. I ain't going nowhere. But that dude took off with my old lady. You find my old lady, you'll find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course, Leland's like getting all happy, chippy. So he finds her, and it comes back to an address in Greenville, North Carolina. And it comes to a nice townhome, really nice townhome.
They're all right. I mean, they were, all joined townhomes, like, those apartment complexes that are like all stuck together, and they're like upstairs, downstairs, but they're like really, really long. They were like right in the middle. The address was right in the middle of that. So the reason that's significant is when two people go to a house, usually there's one in the front and one in the back. Got to worry about person running out of the back door.
So Chad and I did our research before we went, and we looked at the mapping of the
Google
town,
Earth, yeah.
Yep, townhome. So we head to Greenville, North Carolina, and all we had was a photo of him in a truck that he bought from someone locally, and we sat there and watched the place for a while, and we didn't see nothing going on, and of course, I'm running the tags on this truck, and I remember it just popped up to me. I remember it came back and it's somebody else's name. He was a Mexican guy and Hispanic, whatever you want, whatever. So I'm running. I'm like, it don't look right. I don't see, her car or nothing. So of course, Chad and I have to make a decision. What do we do?
So we decide that we're going to approach the apartment, and I go to the back, and the back is it's like halfway bricked up, fenced up type little garden area thing. You could get over it if you really, really wanted to.
Was it white, and it was kind of enclosed,
sort of halfway enclosed, like it was meant for privacy, but at the same time, if you were desperate, like this person would be, you could scale it and get over it.
Yeah. So so Chad goes to the back door. I go to the front, and we got radios on, and I'm radioing him. Hey, are you in place? He's like, yep. Okay, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
Yeah. So, but I'm already planning on, me having to help Rob at this point. So I go to a point where it's at the corner because I've got the longest distance to run around the back, down all the other apartments and back to the front. So I'm at an angle where I can see if somebody's going to get on that fence, but at the same time, I'm closer to him. So I stand there and I wait, and then Rob comes on the radio.
Oh God.
He's like, help.
So right before that, I'm knocking on the door.
Oh.
And he cracks it about a foot open, and it's just this little freaking head sticking out there.
Now, we're just going off one little photo that we have of the dude, right? And we don't know how old that is.
While he's talking to me,
yeah,
and he's just not saying much, I slip my foot in the door. So he can't slam it on me because I know it's him. And I'm like, hey, bro, we need to talk. He's like, no, that's not me. That's not me at all. You
got the wrong guy.
You got the wrong guy.
Right.
I'm like, and I got my hand on my taser at this point, and he starts to try to slam the door on me, but he couldn't because my foot was there. And I'm yelling for Chad now. Chad, come on to the front door. And so while I'm fighting with him in the door, I take my taser out and I shoot him. But only one prong hits him and the other one gets somewhere. But the leads get wrapped up in the door handle.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm grabbing, the taser's going, and I got my hand on it, and so does he. And he's got a prong in him, and he's getting tased. I'm getting tased, and it's at me. It hurts like hell. And then Chad comes up beside me and goes, and we're trying to open the door. I said, Chad, on 3. I said, ram this motherfucker. And he goes, all right, 1, 2, 3. And we hit that door so hard, he fell back.
Yeah, he fell back. We made our way into the house, and then we start, like, this guy's freaking out. He screams for his girlfriend that's upstairs to come down here. You don't know what she's coming downstairs with. You don't know what's up there. You don't know these people. So we, immediately see, check her out, make sure she doesn't have anything in her hands. She comes down, and we get him over by the couch and get him to sit down for a minute.
And we're trying to like calm down too.
Yeah.
And we're trying to like
your
talk
adrenaline's
to him.
pumping, at that moment. And everything that's going through her head is, this better be the right guy. This better be the right guy. And he tells her, go over to the kitchen drawer and get my ID. Now, I don't know who keeps their ID in the kitchen drawer. Usually I keep mine in a wallet.
But let me tell you something what this ID was about.
So I follow this lady. Again, she's going to the kitchen. Kitchen's got knives and all this other stuff. We don't know these people. I follow her, and I watch her open the drawer, and there's an ID. I could do better. It was a little laminated black and white photo where it had been handwritten, his name and his date of birth. And she held it up and gave it to me. And I looked at him. I said, for real, bro? This is what you're going to sell us?
So, I mean, it was actually a pretty cool little ID for being homemade.
Yeah. So this lady had lived with this guy not knowing his real name for like a year, something like that.
Yeah, His
didn't know his real name.
Didn't know his real name at all.
So this was the identity he had chosen and sold it to this lady. And
But the ID was laminated. It didn't have his picture on it. It had a place for his picture, but it wasn't there. Yeah. It was handwritten, and she believed it.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at it going, no, this ain't right. No way in hell. So I get on the phone with Leland, right? I FaceTime him. And I'm like, Leland, we got him right here. I want to confirm it with you. So
yeah, he takes the phone. Leland, is that him?
Is that him?
Hey, turn it back. Yeah, that's him, bro. And we're like, all right, that's a wrap.
Let's go. Put your hands behind your back.
All right, this guy now, he knows that he's kind of been, made, but he's still not fessing up yet.
So, but let's pause it. Remember, there was a kid upstairs, his stepson.
Yeah, well, he said that
he called the cops.
He called the cops, and we're like, cool, get him here.
Cool, awesome, be great. So he proceeds after I get off the phone with Leland. He stands up, and we're like, hey, bro, you got put your hands behind your back. We're going to do this the easy way. He proceeds to like bum rush me like that. And he grabs my vest. And when I step back with my right foot. And when I step back, I rolled it bad. I felt it all the way up my whole body. It was horrible. And then, so I'm hopping over to the back door. Here comes Chad's big ass. All right, let me tell you, Chad, this is it takes a lot to get this big teddy bear mad.
Well, we try to do the good cop, bad cop thing. Rob here is smaller, but he's very
Short fused.
feisty.
I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
So I'll turn, let him do his thing, and I'll just kind of chill in the background and say, look, man, I'll cooperate. He's a little out there,
Yeah, well, this dude, once he grabbed me and started, it was over with. So here comes Chad. It comes up behind, gets him in, he's fighting with him, gets him in a headlock.
Yeah, I get him in a headlock.
And I finally, I free away because, I'm hurting. I get freed up. I pull my baton out.
And I see him get the baton out, and me and this guy, and I'm like, doing this, choking the guy, trying to control him, and now we're dancing because I'm like, don't hit me, Rob. That thing's gonna hurt. I'm moving the guy over here so that he can go to work on those knees. And
I'm like, Chad, watch his leg, bro. Watch his leg. He's like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then a perfect opportune moment. Chad moved his leg, and dude put his leg right in front of it. And I was like,
bam.
Bing, bada bing, bada boom. Boom.
Dude took it like a champ, though.
But he hit the floor, though.
It took a few wallops.
Few whacks.
Yeah, I mean, this guy he was running from Texas. He had several charges of beating women in Texas, remember?
And I think there was also, I thought about this the other day after we got through the episode, but I think he also assaulted a handicapped person.
Was that what it was? I mean, yeah, he had several assault charges. Most of them were on women. That was his MO. And so, he just relocated and thought that he could just assume a new identity and be done. And he wasn't having it. He was not giving up any information. Finally, didn't the police get there?
Yeah. Well, hold on. So we're beating. we're trying not to beat him to death because I'm hurting.
Yeah.
I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to feel it, and we're telling him to turn around and put his hands behind his back. He's like, no, just don't hit me no more. He goes, but I'm not putting my hands behind my back. I'm like, why is this dude just not cooperating? Like, dude, I will hit you again. I'm like, turn around. And next thing you know, the door pops open and there's two cops standing at the front door going, somebody call us. I'm like, no, look over, they look at us, and we got vests on and everything. Well, so we're identified. We have on the back of our vest as fugitive recovery agent or bail agent. So we have all our
paperwork that shows the dude's got warrant out of Texas.
We're not law enforcement. We do have a badge, but it's a certain badge that you have to have in the state of North Carolina. It's the only one you can have.
Yeah, state issued. Yeah, one. Yeah. So after they look at our paperwork, confirm we're legit, he's got a legit warrant. He was an NCIC, right?
Yes.
So NCIC is a national crime index that people are put in if they flee the state. It has to be a felony, but if you're put in that, no matter what state you go to, they can pull that up and see that you're wanted. So if you're pulled over for any reason, that's why he also assumed a different
And it'll also tell you if you're extraditional. So if you can get extradited from surrounding states of the state of Texas or all of the U.S., it tells it. But he was extraditable all across the U.S.
Yeah, they wanted him.
Yeah, they want him bad.
So we finally, I remember I was looking through and I found some photos where he's like down on the ground where the bar stool was and like.
Yeah, well, no, hold on. You forgot the good bar. We're like, and so he's yelling at the cops saying, I want these guys arrested for kidnapping and trespassing and breaking and entering and all this. And I was like, just turn around and put your hands behind your back. And the cop goes, I think you might want to listen to him. He might hit you again with that thing. And so the cops, they put him in handcuffs. They come in, they put him in handcuffs. Get up. I asked the cops because my foot's about.
Yeah, I think they had an ambulance or a fire truck there or something.
Yeah, EMS and fire came.
Yeah, so they were treating you, and I put the guy in our car. They did not want to transport him. We put him in our vehicle.
Yeah, well, so we had to get back in the truck with us after we already thought that Greenville was going to take him. They're like, no, you got to take him. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool, whatever. We'll go. So that was an awkward ride to the jail.
To say the least.
To say the least. And
but
Yeah, tell him about the ride back.
Okay, so we're riding back, and the whole time this guy has totally denied everything. He's like, wrong guy. We get going. We get about halfway to the jail, and he's sitting back there. He goes, so how'd you find me? And we were like, well, we never tell people how we find them.
Nope.
We just don't. I mean, there's no reason to. It only thing that does, if you don't tell them, they'll always go. They won't know for sure. They can guess. They can guess all they want. He had all these theories on how we found him.
What's that famous saying there, Chad?
Lucky all time.
Oh yeah. So they got to be lucky all the time. We got to be lucky one time.
Just once.
So. And so that's kind of how we do it, and we don't ever tell him. And he's probably still scratching his head how we found him, and he doesn't need to know.
So we get to the jail, and we go in front of a magistrate. We've got all the paperwork that we need to have for the magistrate to look it up in NCIC, and I'm still like, I'm hurting. I'm ready to get this over with. And while I'm standing there in front of the magistrate, the dude looks at me. I'm asking him a question, and he was just being an asshole. And he goes, I'm going to find you. I'll find you. I'll know where you're at, and I'll find you, and I'll get you and your family. And I'll turn around. I take that as a threat. And the magistrate didn't like it too much neither. And I looked at him and I said, well, you come find me if you like. Next time it won't be a baton or a taser. It'll be a lead bullet. And he kind of didn't say nothing after that. And the magistrate looked at him and looked at me and looked back at him. And I said, I think you understand what that man just said. And I said, thank you, Mr. Magistrate. And then that was about it. When I got out, I looked at Chad. I wasn't looking so hot. And Chad had to drive and take me to the CVS and Walgreens.
That's right. Yeah, you were in a little bit of pain. That's got to suck, man. Rolling your ankle.
Oh man, if anybody's rolled their ankle, you know what it's like. And my right foot did this kind of bit right here and went on the inside, and so I pulled everything from the outside, like all the tendons and ligaments on the outside of my foot and ankle, and that bad boy, it got swollen as big as Chad's arms here.
Stop. I'm not feeling great, but I appreciate it.
Hey, and that's big. That's big. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, you got to go to our YouTube channel and check it out. You got to check this man's arms out right here.
Get off me.
I love you, Chad.
Easy.
So that was Deviant Daryl. I don't think it was a big bond. I want to say it was like anywhere between a $5,000 and $10,000 bond. But I think it was more principle. Yeah,
it was cool. I think at that time, Leland had just moved to Alabama, somewhere like that. And I don't think he knew anybody in our neck of the woods at that moment. He was still on Hawaii time. And
because I just come back from Columbia, South Carolina with him.
Yeah, okay, so that's right. You did actually, there's a picture over there
it is,
of
right
you
there.
and him. And so it's good because just like this Florida thing, we make connections with people all over the United States, and it's good to pick up the phone and say, hey, can you go over to Cleveland, Ohio, and check on somebody for me, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
I gotta
networking. It's great, NABA people, PBUS. I had to name all of them, but
and Dana AC, got to name her. Remember her? She's the bondsman up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's really nice.
Yeah, she recognized me at the convention and said I went to the worst part of Cleveland, which I did. And I don't want to do that again. And so our buddy Sal, that's where I met him. It's through Dana.
We got to get Sal on the show.
Oh God,
Sal's this guy.
You're gonna laugh your ass off.
Salvatore.
Salvatore. Hey, he's I don't know. He's a funny guy. We're gonna get him up here. I promise.
Sal, I know you're watching or listening. You need to come on the show and
we got to do this here very soon.
You got stories to tell too.
Yeah, me and him went to West Virginia on a guy that ran on.
We got a few with Sal. Yeah, we got to get him in here.
Remember the guy jumping in the pond too?
Oh yeah. Did we tell that one already?
Nope, we haven't done that one yet.
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
We got so many. It's
that
funny.
One's fun.
But get this though, in all seriousness, all these stories that we tell, none of these are funded. When we go out to get people, they're not funded by the taxpayer. It's 100% out of our pocket and out of the insurance company's pocket or the client's pocket. None of it is taxpayer dollar. So when you vote bail reform and you want equal for all, like a certain district attorney's running here, local justice for all, it doesn't work.
It should be fair for all. And that means the victims too.
Yes. Because what happens to the victims, if they don't have their day in court?
Everybody that ends up in jail, most of the time they've got it right. The police have it right most of the time. And, none of us have a crystal ball. We don't know who's innocent. It has to go to court. So there has to be a fair process, the best that we can do. You can't just, okay, good luck.
Well,
I hope you show.
Here's one thing. A good friend of mine, David Gross, he's an attorney here in town, told me it's the one thing in the criminal justice system that's not taxpayer funded and works.
Correct, 100%.
And works.
Just like this story we just told you about, Deviant Daryl from the woman beater from Texas. Daryl thought that he left Texas in the rearview mirror and wasn't coming back. Assumed a new name, got away with it.
But because he was on bond with a bondsman, the
police have a lot of work to do. They have a lot. They have their plate is full, and serving warrants, things like that. There is a warrant group that goes out, and they basically knock on the door, and if you're not there, they leave a piece of paper.
Yeah.
We don't stop there. We have money riding on it. We're more persistent, and that's fairness to all, that we do our job. If we can't, the money is forfeited on the full amount of the bond. It goes to the school systems of North Carolina. So I've said it before, we average anywhere from about $11 to $14 million a year in North Carolina in forfeiture money.
Of course,
so
and
that's putting your money where your mouth is.
And we don't have the best school system in America. We're ranked in somewhere in the middle, if not towards the end, on the school system. Because every time I turn around, my son's in high school. My youngest son, he's in high school. My oldest one's out now. But every time I turn around, they're always asking, "Hey, can you buy this for supplies? This for supplies?" And I'm like, and of course we're going to, because we don't want our children to go without what they're trying to learn in school. Everybody wants the best for their child. Majority of us do. There's some parents out there that ain't worth a damn. I can speak.
You're getting in a tangent there.
Yeah, I'm getting my tangent. Sorry. Anyway, so, but I'm very proud of my boys. So, Chad, this has been another great episode.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you listening. We encourage anyone to reach out to, send us an email, comments. Do we have comments? We got comments, right?
Yeah, you can go on our YouTube.
We got all that. Reach out, say something. Tell us what you want to hear, what you're interested in. Is there something that you would like to hear about in what it is we do? Maybe if there's a person out there listening that wants to be on the show, that's somewhere in the industry of what we do, that would be interesting.
And if you like it, help support us. Just go tell all your friends, tell all your family, tell them what's going on. You can go. We're on all the streaming platforms. We're on YouTube channel, Off the Hook Podcast. It's everywhere, and you can comment, and I'll see it. It goes straight to my phone, straight to my computer. I'll see it. I always share with Chad here. He we're always talking about this. We're always trying to figure out to make this better. And hell, we love you guys that are sticking in. Our views are going up. Our streaming is going up. So hey, it's doing something, right?
Yeah. I think people like to hear some of this. We're going to continue to do what we're doing, and we do encourage any comments, things you would like to hear. That's all.
All right, guys. Well, this is Deviant Daryl. We're done. I'm gonna sit here and hold the squeaker. Chad, I love you. God, I'm so glad I got that.
Play the outro. Play the outro. Come
Love you,
on.
mean it. We'll see you guys later. I'm Rob.
And I'm Chad.
See ya.
You've been listening to Off the Hook with Chad and Rob. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And be sure to follow us for notifications for another exciting episode. But in the meantime, you can go to our website at www.offthehookbail.com to see more. So until next time, stay out of trouble, or it'll be you that needs to get off the hook. See you soon.